Jesus Christ. Every time I try to review this movie, something goes wrong. And that movie is Snake Eyes, which came out 2021, directed by Robert Schwentke, starring Henry Golding as Snake Eyes, Andrew Koji as Storm Shadow, Ursula Cabero as Baroness, Samara Weaving as Scarlet, and you also have Peter Mensa as Blind Master, and Yuko Iwase from the Raid movies is also in the movie as well, right? And I reviewed this movie on Friday, but what happened? The reason why we're playing a One Piece game, by the way, is because I just said fuck it, and we're playing One Piece for all the One Piece fans because it was the 1000 episode got released during the weekend, right? I mean, I only have my PS2 set up, so this is why we're playing the PS2 One Piece game, right? Yeah. So the movie, the movie is basically, yeah, it's an origin story. The movie's controversial because they race swapped Snake Eyes. He was a blonde hair guy with blue eyes, and they race swapped him. And they race swapped him with an actor who's not Japanese, and his character's not Japanese. So what was even the point of race swapping him? I don't even know, right? And the movie, to me, feels a lot like they were ripping off Batman Begins, right? And I don't know much about the Snake Eyes character, other than he lost his voice in Vietnam, and that's why he can't talk, right? And if you watch the first episode of G.I. Joe, he doesn't even look like a ninja in that episode. He's just a guy wearing this this blue outfit with a full face mask and sunglasses. He doesn't even look as cool. Like in the first episode, he doesn't even look like, you know, the cool like Snake Eyes character we know, right? So yeah, the movie starts off with him and his dad. His dad is hiding out in the cabin with his son, right? And you know, his son's like, "Dad, I heard you say we were staying at a safe house. Is anything going on?" Right? And obviously, guys show up from like Cobra, which we weren't supposed to know that. They don't tell you that at first, but it becomes fucking very obvious, right? They kill his dad, right? And the guy who kills his dad gives gives him like a chance to live. They roll dice, and whoever rolls the highest wins. And his dad rolled Snake Eyes, which is two ones. So that's where Snake Eyes gets his name from. Which is, why the fuck would you name yourself after that? I don't know. I guess they were going for like another thing that rips off Batman, because Batman is Batman because, you know, he's like taking a symbol of something he's like afraid of, to like, you know, make it a symbol and spread the fear, right? Make other people afraid of bats and shit. So he does that by naming himself Snake Eyes after the thing that kills his dad. So it's like, what the fuck was up with that? Right, so yeah, he grows up to be like a street fighter, underground street fighter. Gets recruited by, I guess, you know, fuck, we'll play Nami later, right? Gets recruited, right, by this Yakuza guy, who pretends to have him, like, you know, save the life of this guy who turns out to be Storm Shadow. Storm Shadow takes him to Japan, right, and lets him join the Arashikage ninja clan. And his reason for why he wants him in the clan is because they want to make the clan more modern. Yet they use swords. They don't even use guns. Which, like, Snake Eyes uses guns maybe, like, once or twice in the movie, right? Man, this game is easy. When you're not getting hit. Uh-oh. I say that and, like, I'm screwed. Oh, fuck. It's kind of like, this game's kind of like Dynasty Warriors, where it's easy when you're beating up on the guy, but once you stop, then it's like, then it becomes your turn to, like, beat up on the guy, and then, like, whoever beats up the guy first pretty much wins with the combos. Yeah. Oh, shit. I'm just button mashing. I don't know the fucking moves. Oh, fucking hell. Yeah. So so he joins the clan and, like, you know, is told by the evil Yakuza guy who's, like, turns out to be the cousin of Storm Shadow, who was kicked out of the clan because he tried to kill his cousin so he can become the leader of the Arashikage clan. Right, which is currently being run by Storm Shadow's grandma. And the movie becomes really predictable, where, like, the guy finds out, oh, he's actually working for the people who killed his dad. His dad turns out to be Joe. Scarlet joins our heroes because you know, turns out Cobra is working along with the Yakuza guy to steal this weapon that they have, which is like this gem that gives you the power of pyrokinesis. And, like, it turns out, like, the Arashikage clan job is to protect the jewel, right? And they can never use it. So obviously they set up that Storm Shadow is going to use it, right? Which Storm Shadow uses it at the end of the movie on his cousin, right? But before that happens, like, you know, there's, like, a scene where, like, the bad guy gets a hold of it and immediately betrays Baroness. So there's, like, a scene where Baroness teams up with Scarlet, who's played by Samara Weaving, who does a good job. And the costume's very accurate to the TV show and the toys, right? Except for Baroness. Like, Baroness' costume looks really bad. Her hairstyle looks really bad. She looks like she's fucking Italian or something. Like Baroness is supposed to be, like, you know, in the show she had, like, a Russian accent, but I think she was supposed to be German. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a huge fan of the show. I mostly watched the Sigma 6 show, which was voice acted by 4Kids. Another tie-in to, like, 4Kids. Yeah, that Sigma 6 show was good. Though I hear, like, the best G.I. Joe cartoon, what was it called? Resolute? Or some shit? I can't remember. Alright. Stephen Blum voice Duke. I remember that much. I remember, like, they also had this, like, commercial where you could get, if you bought, they were selling, like, you know, toys of, like, Storm Shadow and, like, Snake Eyes, and if you bought the toy, you got, like, the DVD. But I was, like, at that point too old for toys, so I didn't get it. Yeah. Fucking shit. Die, fucking, what's this guy's name? Buggy? The episodes where, like, you followed Buggy's, like, crew were, like, I don't know if they were filler episodes or not, but it was actually pretty cool. Yeah. Oh, there was, like, a sub-goal. I don't give a shit. Is it her voice acting? I can't. I don't give a shit. So yeah. So, like, yeah, there's a scene where, like, the Japanese grandma, ninja leader, and Scarlet and Baroness team up, right? And it was like a good girl power moment. But what was cool about the movie is when it goes to show them fighting, like, teaming up together to fight, it skips it, right? And it just goes on to the next scene. Though there is like a scene later on where you individually you see them fight, right? But I just thought that was fucking funny, right? I just thought that was funny, right? Yeah. So like also Yuko Uwais is in the movie, and he's like wasted. He just plays the guy, one of the guys who's like just um, whose job is just to test like Snake Eyes and like give him a hard time. Like, oh, you're like a foreigner. You're not meant to be here. You're an outsider, dude. You're obviously not Japanese. No way. Like, he's obviously not Japanese. So it's like, what the fuck? And you also have the one dude, the blind master dude, who doesn't even speak Japanese at any point in the movie, from what I remember, right? Who's also a foreigner, right? So it was like, what was up with that, right? They had like all these foreigners in this like Japanese clan, family clan, right? So also like Snake Eyes' costume, you only see it at the end of the film, and it's just like and it just ends, right? So like yeah, also one of the things I hate about the movie is they kick out Snake Eyes obviously Storm Shadow obviously has to go evil at the end of the film, right? So he gets kicked out of the clan for one of the stupidest reasons ever, because he used the gem and to kill his cousin, which he misses, by the way, and gets killed by like a different character. I think he gets killed by like Snake Eyes, right? So it's like he didn't even kill anybody with the gem when he used it, and he still gets kicked out of the clan. It's like, what the fuck, dude? So dumb. So dumb. Sorry, I just had a candy. Why did I do that? Oh my god. Yeah. Oop. The movie is just really stupid. Right? And there's also the giant snakes in the movie from One to Test, right? And I also like the swords in this movie are super OP when the script needs them to be, right? And when it doesn't need to be, they're not, right? So there's like a scene where the swords in the movie can cut through motorcycles in like a motorcycle chase, cut the heads off of the giant monster snakes in the movie, right? But when like Snake Eyes gets in a sword fight with the dude's cousin, oh my god, what the fuck? What the fuck, dude? I just got one-shotted. Oh my god. So like yeah, there's a scene where he gets disarmed and he uses like this old chain to block the dude's sword. So it's like old chain, like the swords in the movie can cut through like, motorcycles, can cut motorcycles in half, can cut snakes' heads off, right? But when it comes to like, old rusty chains, oh yeah, the swords don't work. Overall, I thought the movie was, yeah, there's bad shit in the movie, right? But overall, I thought it was a decent movie, and I'm just giving it a 5 out of 10. Yeah, there's some cringy stuff in the movie, like I already talked about with Kevin, how like in the movie, Henry Golding's American accent, sometimes he slips, and you can hear his British accent. And like nobody thought to fucking do a second take or some shit. So like yeah, but other than that, I thought the action was decent. The characters were decent. Samara Weaving was great. the casting for Storm Shadow sucked. Way worse than in the previous G.I. Joe movies where you had famous South Korean actor Byung Lee Hung, I think the guy's name is. Andrew Koji sucks as Storm Shadow. He's not intimidating at all. Too, he looks goofy, man. He looks like the guy is this tall, lanky guy. You know, he looks like he should be playing comedic relief, not like, you know, a rival character, right? Who does like a complete 180 on like 180 on like Snake Eyes is supposed to be his friend, right? Which I'm not saying him hating Snake Eyes wasn't justified when like the betrayal was revealed, but it's like, you know, he immediately, you know, like joined forces with them or whatever. I don't know, whatever. Man, did they expect you to grind in this game? Because like the second storm mission is like a level 20 guy. It's like, what the fuck? Oh my god. Whatever. So yeah, the movie's just a 5 out of 10. I also watched over the weekend a monster film. A Toho, I think this is a Toho movie. I could be wrong. Sorry. And that movie was Gamera, the Guardian of the Universe, a 1995 film. There was a trilogy. For people who don't know what Gamera is kind of like a Godzilla ripoff. He came out like in the 60s, and he's like this like sea turtle monster, right? Where Godzilla was like a lizard, he's like a sea turtle who can fly. He can like propel. He can like, you know, he puts his limbs in his body, right? And he can shoot out like jets of air, right? And I first heard about this movie from a old Roger Ebert review, where he loved this movie, right? So I thought I should check it out, right? The movie is directed by, fuck, man, I just got this pop up. God damn it, fucking bang. Oh my god. Now it's not even showing me who directed it. Shusuke Kaneko, which stars Shinobu Nakayama. Is it Shinobu like a boy's name? This is a female actress, whatever. Ayako Fujitani, Yukijiro Hotaru is in the movie, who was in, who played like this guy's been in a lot of Tokusatsu stuff. He was in Garo, and he was in that Mikuzuki TV show we reviewed for Tokusatsu Thursdays, right? He's in the movie, he plays a cop. You got Tsuyoshi Ihara as Yoshinari Yonemori, and you have Hatsumori Hasegawa as Colonel Satake. The movie is basically about, you have these two investigations going on. One about this, like, you know, you have this naval officer who was in charge of transporting plutonium, right? Whose, like, ship gets, like, you know, hit by this giant object on the radar, right? So they're investigating this giant object, which turns out to be Gamera, right? While that's going on, you have this chick who's like a specialist on birds, who studies birds, right? And her like sensei and the other research members go missing investigating giant birds on an island, and they turn out to be like these pterodactyl like monsters called Gaios, right? Which this movie is supposed to be like a reboot of the original Gamera films, right? So like Gaios is supposed to be like this rival of Gamera, right? And like these giant, there's multiple of these Gaios monsters. There's 3 of them at first, and then more show up. And at first, the Japanese government, like, despite the fact these things are man-eating monsters, they even kill a dog in the film. The Japanese government wants to capture them alive. While that's going on, their operation to capture them alive, Gamera shows up to attack and kill Gaios, right? The Gaios monsters. He kills 2 of them, but one of them gets away, and the Japanese government at first, like, because of the post-war laws that got it forced on Japan, they can't attack right away. They have to make bills first or whatever, because they can only attack in self-defense. So at first they want to kill the Gamera, right? And like capture the Gaios monsters until it's revealed through our characters that Gamera is actually was created by this advanced civilization to protect humanity from Gaios, which was also an artificially created monster, right? Who went out of control and destroyed the society, right? Which he eventually gets bigger to the size of Gamera, right? And they have the big giant monster battle at the end of the movie. So the monsters in the movie, they use practical effects, right? But the monsters in the movie, obviously Gamera is like a guy in a suit, but there's points in the movie where Gaios looks like a puppet, right? And it looks like really bad, right? But overall, I thought the special effects were great. They were practical special effects. The models were fine. The actors, the characters were cool. You have you have this thing where Gamera, where a character, the naval officer guy, finds this bead, that looks like a comma symbol, gives it to the teenage daughter of the guy who's in charge of investigating the Gamera, right? And it turns out it's part of this thing that links people to Gamera, which the teenage girl becomes linked to Gamera, and whenever he gets wounded, she gets wounded as well, right? So you have this thing where you have this character that's kind of a conduit to Gamera, right? Which I thought that was cool. That's not something you see in the Godzilla movies, right? Also, I forgot, Gamera, besides from flying, right? From flying, he can also shoot a fireball, which he only does at the end of the film, right? But besides from that, I really enjoyed the movie. There are a lot of cool special effects. The monster designs I thought were great, and once both monsters are in wearing guys in suits, that's when the monster fights get good. There's also a scene where because both monsters can fly, there's a scene where both monsters go to space. Their fight takes them to space, which I thought was great. Which you probably have had that in a Godzilla movie, right? But I don't remember that, so I thought that was cool, right? Apparently you need the super is supposed to be really good. So I really enjoyed the movie, and I would say if I were to compare it to other Tokusatsu movies, I would say it's a 7 out of 10. Way better than that new Godzilla vs. Kong movie, which I fucking couldn't even watch, man. I got halfway and just got so fucking bored, right? And I wasn't what's with Hollywood pushing the Hollow Earth bullshit? So dumb, right? So yeah, that's it for this video, guys, right? And if you want to know my thoughts on One Piece, I never, obviously, you can't even finish it because the show never stops and it keeps fucking going, right? Yeah. Also, I forgot to mention, I watched the first episode of Hellbound, which is this South Korean TV show that's on Netflix. It was created by the guy who apparently directed like the Train to Busan films, right? And I watched the first episode, and it's pretty intriguing. For people that don't know what the show is about, basically, you have these demons from hell, which look like rock monsters covered in smoke, that will show up. Like a bad person or somebody will get like contacted by like what was we were told to be angels, but when you see them, it looks like a ghostly figure, right? A face of this evil ghost guy who tells people, "Hey, you die in like 5 days," and tells them the exact time that they die, right? So like, yeah, and the whole episode is like these cop characters investigating this cult who is like worshiping these like demons who are calling them like they're sent by God to punish the wicked, right? And I thought it was pretty good at first. I'm really hoping that there's like a plot twist that it's not actually like supernatural. It's like something else is going on, because you have one character comment on the bad CGI. They watch like these group of teenagers or whatever watch a video of these demons and are like, dude, that's fake. Look how bad the CGI is, right? And it's like, the fact that they point out how the CGI, I really hope there's like a plot twist where it's like it's actually like advanced hologram technology, because some of the recent victims of these monster attacks, they don't even look like bad people. They just like look like normal people, right? And one's like a single mother with 2 kids, right? So it's like, what the fuck? There's obviously something going on. The fact that they're attacking normal people, right? Like criminals. There's no like tyrants or like corrupt politicians. And it's not widespread. Like, it makes me think, yeah, this show is like not going to end up being supernatural. It's going to be something weird, like sci-fi or whatever. Like some advanced weapon technology, and it's like some kind of psyop by like North Korea or some shit. That would be cool, but like I don't know, I could be wrong. But yeah, I don't know. I thought the first episode was good, so I don't know. We'll talk about it later. Yeah, so that's